How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new video, and with it the start of a brand new giveaway. As you guys know, I gave away a box of Lightning Overdrive the previous week, and I recently just did a huge giveaway stream over on my Twitch last Sunday, and I'm continuing the giveaways here on YouTube. I'm going to be doing two more, this one and a playmat giveaway later next week or so. I'm not entirely sure, but it will be at the beginning of the video, much like this one. So what am I going to be giving away? Good question. Is going to be this custom 3D printed field center made by a member of my Discord by the name of Stealth. So huge shout outs to him. I gave away two of these on my stream, and I'm going to be giving away a third one here. It's been signed and numbered on the back, number 3 out of 4, as I'll be keeping the fourth one. So there's only 4 total, and I'm giving away 3. So if you want to enter the contest to win this, check the link below. It is a US only giveaway, by the way, because I've had to spend a lot of money on shipping lately, and shipping internationally is very expensive, as I'm sure most of you are aware. So I'd like to keep this US only. So again, if you're interested in entering, there will be a link in the description. The giveaway will run for 1 week, and I will choose the winner at the start of a video as well. So enter the giveaway at the link below, and good luck to everybody. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the topic of today's video. And that topic is going to be me going over a lot of the new water support cards that have been revealed in the Animations Chronicles set in the OCG. And I believe a lot of these cards have a scheduled TCG release date of October, and hopefully it doesn't get delayed like the Synchro Storm said. I was very upset about that, because really looking forward to a lot of the new Speedroid stuff. By the way, a test hand video should be coming soon featuring a lot of the Speedroid cards, a lot of the new ones. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the first card here. And a lot of these cards were actually suggested by people in my Discord, so if you want to join the Discord, feel free to, link below. And the first card we're going to take a look at is Ice Knight. This is a level 4 Aqua effect, 1300 attack, 1200 defense. It says gain 400 attack for each Aqua monster you control. Not the greatest effect. Once per turn during your main phase, you can activate this effect. You can normal summon 1 water monster during your main phase this turn. In addition to your normal summon set, you can only gain this effect once per turn. Also, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except water monsters. So when I see a card like this, I obviously think of something like Atlantean Heavy Infantry. I don't think by any means this card will actually replace Infantry, because it's not a searchable card. It's not a Sea Serpent, so I don't think this is a replacement for Heavy Infantry. I don't think this card really will work in the Mermail deck either. I think this card will shine much more in the Marincess deck, allowing you to establish a better board presence by normal summoning this card, then normal summoning a Blue Tang, or normal summoning a Pascalis, etc., etc. You know, the restriction where it's locking you only into water monsters is not a huge issue for Marincess decks. It's not really a huge issue for Mermail decks either, because we're already so used to Marincess Coral Anemone locking us into waters already. I think this will be a turnoff, though, for a lot of people that like to play Mermail with Dragoon and Anaconda and, Needle Fiber with Auroradon combos. But then again, I don't even see this card really being played in the Mermail deck. I think this card is much better suited for the Marincess strategy. So a lot of potential, but, I think it's much better in Marincess. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. Alright, so the next card we are going to take a look at is Sea Repetiteur. I probably butchered that one, so I apologize, but this is a Sea Serpent Synchro Tuner effect, level 5. Water, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. Takes Deep Sea Diva plus a non-tuner monster to make. Has a quick effect that says, once per turn you can discard 1 level 4 or lower water monster as cost. This card gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. If this Synchro Summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 5 or higher water monster in your graveyard except itself, special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except water monsters. You can only use this effect of Sea Repetiteur once per turn. So I like this card in the fact that it can offer a discard outlet mid-combo, or it can act as an interruption, much like Abyssalacia and Crocosaur, where we can use those cards during the opponent's turn to act as an interruption by discarding cards like Heavy Infantry or Marksman, because obviously those cards will get their effects when discarded. I don't think ending on this card is the right call. I think using this card more as an extender is the right way to go, by triggering something like Dragoons or Prince mid-combo. And then you can just like link it off, and it's, you know, it kind of works like a Monster Reborn to bring back cards like Teus or Megalo. Maybe when you don't have access to a card like Gun to revive them, you know, how you normally would, or you can bring back your big synchros like Dragite. You could bring back your Prima Donna or your Ravenous Crocosaur, right? So it's nice to have it kind of like a built-in Monster Reborn effect. And then, much like we saw with the Ice Knight, you know, this is locking us into water monsters only. I think it's just something we should probably get used to with Mermails, is they're probably going to start printing more cards with effects that lock the deck into water only, which I'm totally fine with if it just gives the deck new and better cards to work with, to create new play styles. But I know one other thing people had a gripe with this card was that it takes Deep Sea Diva to make, which I personally don't see how it's a problem. We use Deep Sea Diva a lot in the deck. It's our main starter. We have so many ways to get to it. A lot of times it's going to be your main normal summon. You can summon it off a Helka Fibrax, and you know, it's not really that big of an issue. And if you play the field spell, you can just use the field spell to make Deep Sea Diva a level 4 to synchro with it and Prince to go into this card, then take advantage of the field spell effects that you'll get there, and then obviously this card's effects. So I think this will work a lot, and work really well for deep sea oriented builds. Maybe not so much for like more traditional builds, but I've been experimenting a lot with the deep sea archetype, you know, playing more of it in the Mermail deck, and I think this card will shine more so with those cards in the deck, and not so much without it, primarily because just getting into the card will be a little bit harder to do, because you'll need Diva and Marksman, or like Diva, Heavy Infantry, and Prince, which is not super hard to do, but you'll have to go out of your way definitely to be able to do it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that card. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so this next card we're going to take a look at is the card that I think I'm the most excited for out of all the cards we're going to be going over today, and that card is Ice Barrier. It is a normal trap. I know it sounds already bad, but just bear with me. It says when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, change that opponent's monster's attack to 0. Its battle position cannot be changed. Also negate its effects. Yeah, so its first effect is kind of like a battle phase Lost Wind, but then it has a second effect that says you can banish this card from your graveyard as cost, and then you cannot special summon monsters until the end of your next turn except water monsters. Also send one level 5 or higher water monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can add one water monster from your grave to your hand. So that's huge for graveyard recursion and all that stuff, but the way I see this card is that this card will finally allow the Mermail deck to be able to search its best card, and that is Abyss Teus, because we can use this card to send Teus and then add that same card that we sent to our hand. And now this will mean that we have to play Foolish Burial Goods, but I totally think it's worth it. This card on its own is not even that bad, you know, with the battle phase effect that it has. But I think it's totally going to be worth playing 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods in the deck to be able to search Teus. And not only just use it to search Teus, but then again, just be able to send any level 5 or higher water to add back any water monster in our grave. The only thing I think this card will obviously conflict with is using a card like Helka Fibrax to tag into something like Desert Locust, Formula Synchron to then go into the Satellite Warrior, but that just means you can set up different plays and you don't have to leave Helka Fibrax in the field. Instead, you can like leave a Mistar Boy, or you could go for something like you know, Mermail Abyssalacia, whatever it may be. But I think this card is going to be fantastic in the deck, and I think I'll definitely be playing it as a 3-of, and I hope it doesn't come in common as a rarity, but this card is going to be great. I'd even go so far to say it's going to be crazy, because again, just searching Teus is something that the deck has been wanting to do since its inception, and now it is finally here in 2021. Mermail players rejoice. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. But let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. And that card is going to be Silent Sea Nettle, a level 4 Aqua effect with 800 attack and 1300 defense. It says if you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except water monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target up to 3 water monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. You can only use each effect of Silent Sea Nettle once per turn. So this is like, I want to say like a better Silent Angler, because this doesn't restrict us to not being able to special summon monsters from the hand, I believe, for the rest of the turn, because I think that's what Silent Sea Angler does. So I think this card is a fantastic replacement for Angler, not only in Marincess, but it could also be played in Mermail if you want to play a more rank 4 heavy engine, like if you were running Aqua Spirit before, or if you're running Silent Sea Angler. I think this card is a much better replacement. And again, I think this card will probably work a lot better in Marincess than it will work in Mermail, but it's not to say that you can't run this in something like Mermail with Aqua Spirit in the deck already, plus this card, because it's just a free extender. If you control water, just summon it from the hand. Now, of course, you cannot special summon monsters turn you activate except water monsters. Not a huge issue, again, in Mermail and Marincess, again, unless you're playing variants with different non-water engines, like Anaconda or, you know, Auroradon stuff with, like, Despot cards. And then the graveyard effect is really nice. Target up to 3 water monsters in the grave, shuffle them in the deck, and then you don't get to draw, unfortunately. That's kind of a drawback. If it let you draw a card, that would be crazy. But just, you know, the recurring cards back in the deck is nice, because it's kind of like a pot of average. Can you put all your Dragoons back in the deck, all your Princes back in the deck? Very solid card. I like it quite a bit. Again, more of a Marincess card, but overall, really solid. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. So this next card we're going to be looking at is number 4, Stealth Kragen. This card I've actually never looked at before, so it'd be interesting to give my first sort of thoughts and opinions on it here. But it's a rank 4 Xyz monster. It's an Aqua effect, 1900 attack, 1500 defense, with some pretty cool artwork, I must say. It takes 2 level 4 water monsters. You gotta love a nice water rank 4, especially to go with the you know, the Silent Sea Nettle we just looked at. 2 level 4 water monsters. All face-up monsters on the field become water, and then once per turn during the main phase quick effect, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, 1 water monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack it had on the field. And interestingly enough, that doesn't detach to be able to pop a water monster opponent controls, and it's nice that they turned a what would have been a very lackluster effect into a good one by turning all water monsters, or all monsters in the field, into water monsters. And then the burn effect is just bonus, if you ask me. And then it says, if this Ixie summon card is destroyed, you can special summon Kragen spawns from your extra deck up to the number of materials this card had. Then you can attach up to 1 water monster from your graveyard to each of them as material. So I would, based on this, I would think you'd maybe only want to summon 2, because you don't, because you'd only get to have 2 materials on this card anyways. So let's go ahead and take a look at the card Kragen spawn, which is also a rank 4 apparently, taking 2 level 4 water monsters to get into. And it says once per turn during the main phase quick effect, you can destroy 1 water monster your opponent controls. So if you're bringing this card out off of Stealth Kragen, this card is not going to be really good at all, because the effect to make all monsters in the field water will not be applied anymore. So not really a good effect there. It's going to be very situational. And then it says, if this card special summoned by a number exceeds monster's effect is destroyed, you can special summon other Kragen monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. Then you can attach up to 1 water monster from your graveyard to each of them as a material. So it seems like Kragen and Stealth Kragen could kind of loop each other, which is kind of cool. Nice little gimmicky, like, Ixies, like, spam kind of effect. I don't think it's that great outside of, like, Stealth Kragen. I would really probably only play that card because the pop and burn effect might help out a lot in time. And also turning all the opponent's monsters into water might also come up against certain matchups, but other than that, I don't really see these cards seeing much play. At least I personally wouldn't play them in any water-based decks that I know of at the moment, unless it was like a strictly like rank 4 like water spam deck, I guess, but not really in Mermail and not really in Marincess, I would say. And the last card I wanted to touch on real quick is, of course, Retort Fusion, allowing us to play multiple copies of Instant Fusion in our deck once again by being able to summon out cards like Rare Fish and Sea Monster of Theseus, which will pair very well with Cross Sheep, allowing us to do a lot of rank 4 shenanigans for Bahamut Shark, Abyss Dweller, whatever you want to make. So really excited for Retort Fusion, and I think it'll make a great addition to the Mermail strategy, much like that Ice Barrier card we talked about earlier. So a lot of good cards for Mermail that we talked about, and of course a lot of good cards for Marincess as well, like the Ice Knight and the Silent Sea Nettle. A lot of great cards for those decks. So hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, share the video, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the ways you can support the channel down in the description, and don't forget to enter that giveaway if you haven't already. And yeah, as always guys, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, a huge shout out goes to all of the YouTube members that support this channel, and a special thanks goes to our Divine level channel members, and they are Cadillacs84 and Pony Stark. Thank you guys so much for your continued and very generous support of the channel.